A day. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are live. We are finally live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. If you are coming on, please accept my apology. Number one, I'm a few minutes behind, but accept my apology. We have finally made it live and I'm super excited. This is the Thursday that the Lord has made. Today is Thursday. And guess what? We're going to rejoice and be glad in it. Yes, we are. If you are coming on, please hit that like button. Hit that share button. Tag Lolly Dolly everybody and let them know your boy Prophet Ramon and the squad. We are live right here in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. Welcome ladies and gentlemen to the Ramonepreston show. I am your host Ramonepreston, and every Monday through Friday, even on the weekends sometimes, we come to you with this show to share information with you that we know can help you start, structure, and scale your businesses, your ministries, your income streams, and even your wealth building dreams. So if you are a business owner, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're thinking about becoming a business owner, or if you're just a breadwinner in your family and household, and you just want to find creative ways to increase your income and leverage your skill sets, we share information on this show every day that can give you that lift, that can give you that push to your next level. So welcome to the show. For those of you that are coming on, please put in the comments what city you're watching me from. I thank all of you, whether you are members of our programs, whether you're clients in our consulting or coaching business, whatever you do with us, I want you to know I thank you. I appreciate you. I'm grateful to have you take the time out to watch the show, to follow us, and to engage with us. This is a part of my mission. This is a part of my passion. As a 22-year, I guess I can say veteran in ministry leadership, and as a entrepreneur, not quite 22 years. I really started my entrepreneurial journey 20 years ago and got real serious about it 19 years ago. But let's just say for the last 20 years, I've been a full-time ministry leader. I've been a full-time entrepreneur, waking up every day and doing what I love to do and what I know I have a calling and a mission and an assignment by God to do. And that's why I share so much information with my community, excuse me, because it's not just a business decision I'm making, but it's a ministry decision. It's a purpose decision. So put in the comments what city you're watching me from. If you haven't subscribed to my YouTube page, please, if you would be so kind, do so. Now, I've just been asking all of our community members, if you're on our email list, if you get text messages from us, if we communicate with you on any level, I've been asking everybody to do a couple things the last couple days. And I really need your support on this, seriously. Number one, I want you to give us a Google review. So go to Google, pull up Ramonepreston Enterprises. I really need you to do that. Pull up Ramonepreston Enterprises and leave us either a rating, a star rating, and a review. A lot of people don't like to do it. I already know, because sometimes it asks you to log into your Gmail account, but just take the 3 or 4 minutes, maybe 5 minutes to do it. Okay, I sit on this show every day for free and I share information with you. If you've ever called in, if you've ever texted me, if you've ever spoken to me at an event or anywhere and have asked me anything about business, anything about your finances, anything about your life, anything about what you're doing, you already know that I didn't charge you for it. Most likely, initially, I just share information with you and at least assisted you in making the best educated decision on what products or programs and services we may have available. But for the most part, maybe 8 or 9 out of the 10 people I talk to and give advice to and wisdom to and direction to and share valuable information with, 8 or 9 out of 10 people don't buy anything from me, at least initially. So if you're one of those people, you've bought one of our products and services, you've participated in one of our events or programs, or you just watch me on social media, but you learn something, you get something in return, the very least, in return, please like, share, subscribe to my YouTube page. Follow me on Facebook, on Instagram, on LinkedIn, TikTok, you don't stop, Twitter, and go to Google, pull up Ramonepreston Enterprises, and just leave me a 5-star or a review, okay? Even if you feel like I've done you wrong, hey, I don't care, leave that review. But if I've done some good, if my wife and I have served you, I'm just asking our community to really do that. You know, my wife, me and my wife we were having a conversation yesterday. That's where it really all started from. And I was telling her how much of a compliment one of our clients gave me yesterday when we were conducting our initial coaching session with them. They just joined our Millionaire Mentorship Program, and this is a great, intelligent gentleman. If you're watching, JK, shout out to you. And this man has so much potential, so much experience. He's been in a lot of circles, masterminds. He's been a part of a lot of internet gurus, programs. So the dude know his stuff. And the fact that what he's gotten from me resonated with him to the point that on our initial call yesterday, it really blessed me as much as he feels like I blessed him. He blessed me just to say, listen, man, like he was basically saying, like, I underestimated what you really know. And when he got on our platform, he realized, dog, man, this dude really know his stuff. He ain't just on social media just running his mouth. The dude know his stuff. He understands what he's doing. And he was just telling me that, man, you belong at the top with the rest of the gurus. And I'm like, hey, I'm on my way, and that's what I'm working towards. I believe I'm a celebrity mogul. And as long as I believe in me and I continue to do what I'm doing, I'm going to get there. But it still takes support from the community. And so when I shared this with my wife yesterday, my wife was like, wow, why didn't you ask him to give you a review, you know, on Google? And I was like, I just, you know, we be so busy here a lot. My wife, when she does come in the office, she's normally at other locations, and she's ripping and running, doing real estate. She's on properties. My wife is very, very busy. You think I'm busy? My wife is extremely busy. And so, you know, we're just ripping and running when we're here, banging and grinding. And so I really don't think about it a lot. And my wife was like, listen, you should have gotten a review. And she pulled up our Google page, and my wife saw that, oh, wow, you only have, like, yesterday I think I had like 9 Google reviews. And my wife was like, there is just no way. Like, you literally talk to probably dozens of people every week, just random people. Because if you text Millionaire, if you call my number, if you send me an email, you already know we're probably reaching back out to you. If not the day of, we're going to reach out to you within a day. Within a 24-hour window, you're going to hear from somebody, even on the weekend. My executive administrator, she just told me someone called the other night and she answered the phone. So we're always available. And when we're not here, all of our calls link to somebody's phone to answer it. If somebody is on vacation or something, we always stay on point. And I'm saying that to say that I need you to support me as well. Even if you don't purchase a program, even if you feel like, you know what, I don't have the money to pay for your Millionaire Blueprint or your Millionaire Mentorship Program or whatever it is that you're selling, well, guess what? I give away enough content for free. I give value, at least that's what my community tells me. And our views tell us that, and our business that we get is telling us that. A lot of our business comes from social media, particularly YouTube. So subscribing to my YouTube page, yeah, they may require you to sign in your Google Gmail account because they want to authenticate it. They just want to make sure that it's a real person. So I know some people want to be anonymous and don't want the world to know them, but sometimes you got to step up to the plate and support people that you love and that you believe in. You got to be willing to do that. I don't mind leaving a Google review under my name for somebody I believe in and I trust. So I'm just respectfully and really sincerely asking you as a part of our community, please, if you would be so kind. Of course, I want you to subscribe to my YouTube page, follow me on LinkedIn and Facebook. YouTube is really our biggest, most engaging platform. So even if you're on Facebook or some other platform watching this, to go to YouTube, to pull up Ramonepreston and to subscribe, even if it requires you to log into your Gmail account, it's worth it because other people are watching us and they're looking to see, well, if he's doing all this stuff he's saying he's doing for hundreds and hundreds of people, where are these people? I felt the same way when my wife brought it up yesterday. So, you know, our whole team got it from my wife. My wife is the COO. She's the Chief Operations Officer. So she got on all us and was like, y'all need to be asking everybody for these reviews, especially the number and the volume of people that y'all just give free information to. Like literally, I sat on the phone yesterday with someone, not with this client, but with someone randomly that called in, had 4 or 5 questions. I answered the questions. Of course, they always promise that they're going to buy something. I hope they do at some point, but I still gave them the information. I still provided it to them. So I would love for you to go to Google, search Ramonepreston Enterprises, and please subscribe to my YouTube page and leave me either a star review or a written review. It goes a long way, because if y'all like me, when I get ready to use somebody's services or business, one of the first things I do is go to Yelp, or most likely I'm gonna go to Google. I'm gonna Google their name in, I'm gonna see what comes up, and if they got reviews, I wanna read the reviews to see if the restaurant good, if their services are good, what are people saying about them. Now, of course, you're gonna always have, you know, idiots who wanna say stuff just shady and lie, but then you have some legitimate complaints. People complain because they don't like what they thought they were going to get from a business, and that's legitimate. Either way, I want the participation. I want the engagement. So I want to be able to go to my Google review page, and I want to see the hundreds of people that I give value to on a regular basis, you know, give me some feedback and show the world that, hey, we support this guy. This dude does a great service to the community. He's a man of God. He's a man of faith. He's a man of family. He's a man of community. He's a businessman. He has integrity. Yes, he come from the street. Yes, he hood and he's ghetto, but the man is intelligent. He stands on his word. He does what he says he's going to do. He provides the best service. He overpromises and over-delivers whatever he over-delivers. And so I can give myself a Google review, but it ain't going to carry the way that it will if you do it. So thank you for your reviews. I'm going to give you a shout out early in advance. Thank you for the reviews if you give me a Google review. Thank you for subscribing to my YouTube page. Thank you for following me. Thank you for leaving comments. Thank you for engaging me, because we want to gain some momentum. We want people to know that everybody on the internet ain't scammers. Everybody on the internet ain't doing dirty work trying to just get people's money. No, there are people who are legitimate business people and leaders in the community helping our people, okay? So now let's get to today's show. Today I want to talk about the rules of the rich. The rules of the rich. Now, if you have been following me, if you've been following me just for the past couple days, today is Thursday. So just this past Monday, I launched a new campaign. It's only a 3-week campaign I launched, and this 3-week campaign is called the Fast Track to Financial Freedom. And one of the reasons why I launched this campaign for the next couple weeks is because, number one, coming into the month of July, I know we're in the third quarter of the year, And a lot of people are losing the motivation. A lot of people are losing the momentum. A lot of people have already lost the motivation and momentum, and they don't have the inspiration to really push through a lot of the resistance. Most of the times, and this is statistically proven, most of the times, once we get to around June and July of the year, which is the middle of the year, most people have already fallen off. Whatever their resolutions were, whatever their goals were, most people are already checking out and just making sense of, you know what, I just need to get through this year and start fresh in January. But I know that you have to have a certain level of information, a certain level of inspiration, motivation, and momentum to not repeat that. And everybody wants to make sense of the summer months. Oh, it's summertime, everything slows down. It don't have to slow down. You don't have to slow down. You don't have to retract. Well, we're in a recession, and what we should do now is just kind of ride it out and wait till everything clears up and dies down. No, we're supposed to lean in. We're supposed to have the faith and the confidence in God that we have the capacity, we have the bandwidth, we have the ability to go further, to go harder, to lean in so that we can see the results that we know we have been destined to see. And so this 3-week campaign called the Fast Track to Financial Freedom is just that. I'm sharing with you tips and strategies. I'm giving you tools on a daily basis, and I'm providing coaching and mentoring to you so that you can get some wins within the next 3 weeks. And so what we're doing is every day we're talking about something relating to this Fast Track to Financial Freedom campaign. I'm giving you certain principles. I'm sharing information with you based on courses that I have in my Millionaire Blueprint. So if you're on my programs, I'm already giving you instructions to what to watch and what courses to listen to while we're on this fast track. And this Saturday will be our first check-in at 2:00 p.m. I'm going to be hosting a check-in with everybody that's participating in it. Now, in order for you to be able to get that link and to get that text and to participate in that check-in, where we'll be talking about what we've learned this week, where we are mentally this week, and what strategies we need to use to push that needle forward. And we're going to celebrate some wins. I'm already seeing wins. My team is seeing wins. Our company, we're on the fast track too. We participate in these campaigns. We don't just host them. So if you are not in any of our programs, you're not on my email list, you're not enrolled, whether it's free or paid, on Ramonepreston University, our training program, then all you have to do is text the word millionaire, text the word millionaire to 404, I'll give it to you real quick, 404-478-7213. So you text the word millionaire. This is if you're not on our university platform, if you've never enrolled, if you're not a student in our Millionaire Blueprint program, if you're not a client in our coaching program, if you've never worked with us on a personal or professional level, then I want you to text millionaire to that number. We're going to reach back out to you so that we can get you caught up to where we are 3 days into this campaign. And so my goal is to make sure that every day I share some information, some tips, give you some tools and strategies that you can use to correspond with your course assignment. And every Saturday for the next couple weeks, we're going to have a check-in. So I'm taking time out of my schedule every Saturday leading up to Saturday, July 23rd. That's the date that we're going to be in person for a free live Millionaire Mastermind. So I have a free live event that I'm hosting on Saturday, July 23rd, right here at the Marriott Buckhead Conference Center. You can join me in person. You can come and be a part of this 4-hour deep dive, but I would prefer for you to come there, having already participated in this campaign, so you got momentum. I want you to be one of the people that come in there and give me a win and tell me, hey, this is what I accomplished just following you the last couple weeks, so that you can see what we're teaching, what we're giving people, it actually works. So it's one thing for me to keep telling you every day on my show, on video clips, on reels, oh, it works, this program is the best, and blah, 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 blah. Nobody don't care about that. What people care about are results. If you're not getting any results, you don't care about anything somebody's talking about. But you can't get results if you're not using what people are giving you access to, all right? So just text the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. Now, if you're already a part of our program and you are in this campaign with us, fast tracking to financial freedom because you want to pick up a couple wins leading up to Saturday, July 23rd, well, you need to log into your account on Ramonepreston University. You need to go to the course entitled The Income Ladder of Success. That's the course that we're using as an assignment this week. Why is that? Well, I talked about it Monday, I talked about it Tuesday, and I'm talking about it today. I talked about it Wednesday, and I'm talking about it today. And there are a few things that we've already established. This is why I have this graph here, because a lot of people, and I'll go through this real quick before I give you some rules of the rich. I'm gonna give you 5 rules of the rich, okay? But I use this graph because this is an income ladder that we've created. And if you're on our course, the Income Ladder of Success, you're going to see this graph. But this graph is what we use to show you, number one, how many income classes there are, okay? So there are 3 income classes: poor class, middle class, and upper class, just to simplify it, okay? 3 income classes, right? Within these 3 income classes, there are stages. So, of course, poor class is just one stage, $32,000 or less. Middle class, there are 3 stages, from $32,000 a year up to $400,000 a year. You got lower middle, the middle of the middle, and upper middle. Then in the upper class, you got 4 stages. You got upper class, 400K to $1 million, millionaires, 1 million to 10, rich, 10 million to $1 million to 100 million, and then wealthy, 100 million and up. And again, people can debate if those numbers are accurate. Well, it works for me. It works for the people I teach to give them at least a general idea of what these income classes are, what the stages are, and how they work. Also, on this graph, you see certain percentages. These percentages make up 100% of the households in America. So there are studies that show, and you can Google this stuff, that there are approximately, give or take, 130 million households in America. Of course, there are 300-something million humans, but there are 130 million households in America. Some of those households have 2 people, 3 people, 4 people, 10 people, 1 person, but there are 130 million households in America. Out of those 130 million households in America, these studies show that 29% of those households are considered poor class, which means 29% of the 130 million households in America make $32,000 or less. That will categorically be considered poor class. It's not a knock on anybody. It's not to make anybody feel bad. It's just for you to be aware of where you are so that you can know what you need to do to get where you're going. 70% of those households are considered the middle class. So if you notice, there are less poor class households than we think. Most people think 70% of American households are poor class, but categorically speaking, 70% are middle, 29% are poor. Here's the problem. Most of America is considered middle class. So whether that's a 1-person household or a 2-adult household, most of the households in America, 7 out of 10 of them, make at least $32,000 a year, up to $400K. But most of them don't make no more than $100,000 a year, maybe $150 if it's 2 households. Now, this is where the biggest problem is. I'm not going to get into that. And then you've got the 1% of households. Think about that. Only 1% of households make up $400,000 or more a year. Think about that. So if you make $400,000 a year or more, you're considered a one percenter. I ain't talking about the 5%ers. You're considered a one percenter, right? Financially, economically speaking, you are a part of the 1%. So all you need to do is make at least $400,000 a year in the United States of America, and you'll be a part of the 1%. But the problem is 99% of households in America don't make $400,000 or more a year. 99% of American households that don't make it, a lot of them can't even make sense of it. And this is why I'm talking about this thing this week for this fast track to financial freedom, because a part of this is your mindset. It's you learning to set your mind to things that are bigger, because you might look at this graph and say, man, ain't no way in this world I can make sense of making at least $400,000 a year. Well, why should you be okay making sense of making $20,000 a year? Oh, but you can make sense of making $38,000. Oh, you can make sense of making $79,000. The reason why you can't make sense of making $400,000 or more a year is because you've been programmed not to make sense. Because there are systems and infrastructures that have been built to keep this 99% of U.S. households in this percentile. And it ain't the 1% that's doing it. A lot of times it's politicians and legislators and other systemic infrastructures that have been built that don't even have anything to do with some of these people over here just making money doing what they have programmed themselves to do. So my wife and I, we are part of that 1%. I say that proudly, but I say it humbly. But guess what? There was a time I wasn't even at 32. There was a time I was broke. I ain't have nothing. So guess what? I was able to figure it out, but it took a lot of work. It took a lot of education and information. It took changing my mindset. It took reprogramming myself. So there were a lot of things that needed to change in my life in order for me to become a part of that 1%. And I'm gonna give you a few things that had to change. So there had to be a spiritual change. There had to be a mental change. There had to be an emotional change. There had to be environmental change. Definitely had to be a financial change. And to some extent, there had to be a professional change, whether that's business or career. So I want you to look at all these areas that I realized had to change, and my wife did too, because my wife was raised in a middle-class family with her parents. She was military. My wife had a good job at a very young age. She was a store manager, so she held a corporate position, but it doesn't mean that she had all of these boxes checked to be able to move up into that 1%. So even though we both come from different worlds, we still had certain data, certain information, certain experiences that economically prevented us from climbing that ladder. You get what I'm saying? I want you to see this. So how does this income ladder of success reflect your spiritual life? Well, it has everything to do with your spiritual life. It has everything to do with it. And this could be a pro and a con. And I just want to talk about this today because some of you really need to hear this from me. How does this have to do with your income? Well, on one hand, you serve God. Like, you're supposed to be a believer. You're supposed to have faith. You read the scriptures, you go to church, you pay your tithes, you give offerings, you sow seeds, you serve the community. You do all these things. So it should automatically be a given, a default mode for you to lead in society, for you to be a king or a queen for the kingdom of God. Like, it should be normal. It was normal for me to believe it, especially coming from the streets and getting saved and having this experience in a trap house and starting to go to church and read the Bible. I realized quick, oh my God, these people in the Bible, man, they was doing it up. I mean, they had chariots, they had mansions and castles, and they had land and livestock, and they were farmers and they were builders. And I'm like, oh my God, these people had it all. They were living heaven on earth. Until I started getting around church people, religious people who allowed their religious beliefs, their limited spiritual perspectives to keep them stuck economically, because they just felt like, all right, well, if I'm saved and I'm going to heaven, then all I need is Jesus. Well, spiritually, you're right. But there are other areas that you need more than just a relationship with Jesus. And that may sound disrespectful to you, but it's just like you saying, outside of money, let's say health-wise. Oh, I ain't worrying about my health. All I need is Jesus. No, you don't. You need Jesus, but in addition to Jesus with your health, you need to take care of your body. You need to eat right. You need to rest. You can't deplete and rob certain areas of your life of things that govern that area and then use as a lame excuse. Well, long as I got Jesus, I don't need to brush my teeth. I got Jesus. My breath gonna always smell good. No, it ain't, boo. Your breath gonna stink if you don't brush your teeth, and you right here talking about you got Jesus but no toothbrush, no toothpaste. You get what I'm saying? If you walk outside with no clothes on, you butt naked, you going to jail. Well, I don't need clothes. I got Jesus. It's ridiculous. So these are limiting or flawed beliefs that you can have spiritually that can mess you up. Now, again, you might not even believe in God. Hey, that's your problem. It ain't mine. And it may not be a problem to you. But as for me and my house, we gonna serve the Lord. So I'm gonna check that spiritual box, because I believe I'm a spiritual being having an earthly experience. So as a spiritual being, I'm not limited to a physical body. I'm not limited to physical restrictions, even though I have to subject myself to what's been given to me in this physical body and in this time. But spiritually, I don't have to live in that restriction. This is how you can be like Paul the Apostle. He was bound in prison, but still free. See, you could be free. And not just free in your mind, but free in your spirit. My spirit is free even if I'm stuck in a certain area of my life. I'm just giving you some game to show you how this connects and associates and attaches itself right to your income. Mentally, you got to check the box. You got to get in the game mentally. You know how it is. If you don't want to be at a certain job you work on, or you don't want to go to school, or you don't want to go to an event or a meeting and somebody in your family told you you just got to be there, you go to a funeral, you know you don't fool with the family member and none of the family members is there, but you still got to go out of respect for grandma or somebody. But here's the thing, you're there physically, but you're not there mentally. Well, the income ladder, you got to get in it mentally. You got to get in the mental game, because the stuff you going to deal with and fight and face on a day-to-day basis financially, you got to be mentally in the game. And you got to have some target higher than where you're stuck at in order to mentally be in the game. Emotionally, you got to get in the game. So now you can't just be like, oh, I'm in it, but emotionally you don't have the attitude. You ain't got the energy. You always dragging your behind, and you always talking slow and acting as if life passing you by, because you're not in it emotionally. You got to get excited. You got to get energized. You can't be around here, because I don't like talking to people like that. You're not going to be around me, and every time I talk with you and I'm like, hey, how you doing? Oh, I'm just doing. I'm man, it's rough today. I don't have time for that. Like you got to check in. You done checked out somewhere. You done allowed something or someone or some place to check you out emotionally. You got to get emotionally charged. Now, here's the thing. When you don't have these things and the ability to do them yourself, this is why you got to get around the right people. This is where the environmental box is. Most of the people who are not emotionally charged to do better, who are not mentally in the game to do better, who are not spiritually connected to a higher purpose to be better, most people are people who are in the wrong environment. I know this. I ain't been on this earth goofing off since I've been here. I've been observing and studying and researching and watching. There's a reason why I could be here at one point in my life, and now I could be up here in the 1% at this point in my life, and I'm gonna keep going up. I'm gonna keep climbing. You know why? Because I got these boxes checked. Environmentally, I don't care if it's family, I don't care if it's people I grew up with, it don't matter if they like me, if they talk about me, if they hate me, if they think I'm funny acting, it doesn't matter if they feel like I done sold them out and turned my back. So, if you ain't checked in with where I wanna go, or you don't have your own where you wanna go, that gives me the fuel that I need for us to connect, you're not gonna be in my environment. It doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't even think about that stuff. So it doesn't matter how people feel about me. If you're the wrong person, you're not going to be in my environment, and I ain't going to be in yours. So if all you doing is thinking about, well, you know, I'm here, I'm making $20,000 a year, and you know, I'm trying. Well, that's you. That's fine. I respect you, but don't bring that into my environment. Don't bring that into my environment, because you looking at $20,000 a year or $60,000 a year. I'm over here like, listen, I want to spend $60,000 a day. I want to be in a position to spend $60,000 a day. That's where I want to be. So I got to put myself in that environment. And even if you don't want to have all that, being around people who want it, it gives you a pull. It gives you a lift. I was just telling this to a client the other day that, listen, you don't have to want to be a millionaire. You don't have to pursue becoming a millionaire, but I guarantee your life will be better if you're around people who are millionaires and who are pursuing their dreams to become millionaires. It's just going to give you a pull emotionally, mentally, and even spiritually because of your environment. The next box you got to check is financial. You got to get a number. You got to figure out, where do I want to go? Like, where do I want to go? And I keep telling everybody, and here's what's crazy. I was reading a couple articles. So every morning when I get my emails and get my information coming in from different sources, I read certain articles before my day start. Now, I've been telling y'all this for a while, probably for the last couple years since I've been on this real mission, right? I've been telling y'all that your minimum target financially should be right here. Your minimum target. I've been telling y'all this for the last couple of years. This is your minimum target right here. That's what your minimum target should be. Your minimum target should be to make the 1%, at least $400,000 a year. That's going to be about $33,000, $34,000 a month. That should be your target. That should be your target. How you pull it off, what you gonna need to do it, how hard it's gonna be, all that different stuff. We ain't focusing on that right now. What we're focusing on is at least having some financial target that we can look forward to. Because if you wake up every day knowing, man, I need to get to a point to where I'm making $35,000 a month, at least having that target keeps you mathematically or financially in the game. And then it's going to play a big role professionally, because now you got to make the decision. I tell my team this all the time. I tell my clients this all the time. If you have a financial target and you work in a certain job, or you got a certain business and you trying to build certain things as products and services, you got to start looking at, oh, if what I'm doing is not able to get me to that target, I need to stop doing it. Because some of you right now, you're trying to start businesses, you're trying to work jobs, you're trying to do things that ain't going to get you nowhere, but you don't care. You know why? Because you don't have a financial target. You got to check that financial box and then that professional box. Because whatever it's going to take for you to get there, now you're going to be a little clear on doing it. So we've already gone through a lot of this, what I'm sharing with you right now. And I hope that up to this point, we're 4 days into this campaign. I really hope that you're starting to see how powerful information and inspiration are when you put them together. So I would love for you to give me some feedback. Like, if you've been following me for the last couple days on this Fast Track to Financial Freedom campaign, I would love to know, what is your biggest takeaway so far? We're in the middle of this, of this week. We're on Thursday. So I would love to know, like, do you have a big takeaway so far that you feel like, oh my God, this has been like the most valuable, this has been the most valuable thing I've had. I would love to know what that biggest takeaway is so far. And again, if you have trouble with any of these, if you have trouble reconciling, because that's where the biggest trouble is. Again, if you have trouble spiritually, okay? If you have trouble mentally, if you have trouble emotionally, if you have trouble environmentally, if you have trouble financially, I just want to write this down real quick. I know I'm scribbling, but I just want to make this final point before I move on. If you have trouble checking any of these boxes when it comes to you climbing that financial ladder, like if you're having trouble, I'm not saying it's going to be easy. It's not easy to do this. But if you know you're having trouble moving that financial needle any way, now you got to ask yourself, where is the trouble coming from? Is it a spiritual issue I got with money? Is it a spiritual issue I got with money? You really need to answer that question. Maybe you have spiritual beliefs that conflict you having money. You got to fix that. You got to fix that, because those are really like religious beliefs and limited beliefs that you are associating to your spirituality. So you don't have to have money to be spiritual. Let me say it again. You don't have to have money to be spiritual. Duh, right? But you don't have to be broke to be spiritual either. So just because you claim, oh, I ain't about money, it ain't all about money. A lot of times people saying that as an excuse because they're trying to cover up and justify making sense of a place they're at in life. Everybody knows it ain't about money. Especially if you're in the church, in the Christian community, we know it ain't about money. We know it's about God. We know it's about having a relationship with God. We know it's about souls. You don't have to remind an intelligent Christian that it's about saving souls and making humanity better spiritually. But we say that because we have a spiritual problem with money. We can't reconcile it. So if you have that problem, well, a lot of that is because of your environment. Either you're not around people or you're around the wrong people. Which one is it? Because your spiritual problems should change if you are listening to people like me on a regular basis. But a lot of you entrepreneurs, I got to be honest with you, a lot of you wanna-be-preneurs. You're not entrepreneurs, you're wantrepreneurs. You think you know it all, and you're because you think you figured it out, you always associate getting information from people like me with money that you feel like you can't afford to pay, and you stay stuck. So you hold on to your little money. I just told some clients that last week. Okay, my coaching program is $3,500 a year. It's cheap. You might be like, cheap? Yeah, that's cheap. For you to pay $297 a month for 12 months. First of all, you can pay it every month, right? Secondly, for you to pay $297 a month and to be able to sit down with a real business consultant, a real business coach, for you to have weekly coaching calls, for you to have access to all of his training material on his online platform, for you to be able to show up to workshops and learn how to build a real business, you can't take $3,500 anywhere in this world and turn it into anything other than $3,500, if that. Like, where are you gonna take that? You can't build no doggone six-figure or $1 million business for $3,000-$4,000. But in your mind, I'm just talking to those of you entrepreneurs that you're so stuck on yourself, you're not willing to invest in yourself, and that's why you're stuck. You're stuck. You're not willing to pay to play because in your mind, I ain't got no money. So where is your problem? Because if you're not moving up that ladder, here's your problem. Here's your problem. Spiritually, you can't make sense of money. You have an issue spiritually with money. You think something is wrong with it. Mentally, you don't have the strength. You don't have the muscle built. And the reason why is because you don't have a trainer. Like, you don't have a trainer. You do not have a trainer. So Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Tom Brady, Mike Tyson, Mayweather, Steph Curry, you name the athlete. And all of those athletes have coaches and trainers. You name the celebrity, they have coaches and trainers. They've got people helping them because they know they need somebody mentally to help them stay in the game. Emotionally, where's your emotion to it? Are you tied to it? Do you get excited about it? No, because every time you think about your business, you start breathing hard. Man, ain't nobody got time for this, man. Oh my God, I'm just sick of people. That's why I'm always telling my team, we're not going to be complaining about what other people not doing. We're not going to be complaining about what clients are not doing. So what? You keep doing your job. You show them what they supposed to do. Because I don't want that energy around me. I don't want that mentality. I don't want that negative emotion in my life because I want to stay emotionally charged and excited about, watch this, what I'm doing, not what other people are doing. So everybody cannot do. Everybody can be checked out. I'm going to show up and do. I'm going to show up and prove I'm checked in. Because I'm emotionally involved in my financial freedom. I'm involved in that. I'm in it. I'm charged. I'm ready. Every morning I wake up. I never wake up. I promise you, my wife will tell you this. I never wake up. I never, I say this with conviction. I never wake up and feel like, oh my God, another day. There ain't no way in this world. You know why? And this is not even because of positive things. This is because I know what it is to wake up every day as an addict. I know what it is to wake up every day so addicted to drugs, and I wanted to be free so bad. And I couldn't shake drugs. I was a cocaine addict. I couldn't shake cocaine. It had me for years. All of my teenage life, I spent addicted to cocaine. My parents were addicted to crack. I could not shake that thing. I couldn't shake committing crimes and running the streets and going in and out of jail. My life was miserable. I hated my life. I hated myself. And so once I got free spiritually, and then I realized I could take all that energy that I wasted the first 21 years of my life and put it towards something that I love to make life better for me and for my family, I have no reason to complain. I have no reason to complain because I know what it feels like. I was telling y'all that Monday. I know what it feels like to be sitting in a jail cell, not knowing if I'm going to get out. After almost a year, one time I sat in that jail almost a year, no way out. I didn't have a release date. I was going to court looking at so much time because of things that I did. I was an addict. I was a loser. I had nothing. I wasn't even at 32. I was nowhere. So now that I got a life, now that I've created something, you think I'm not going to be emotionally involved? If you don't have that, it's because of who you putting yourself around, your environment. And so I always tell people, even if you can't show up to my office every day, even if you can't show up to every event that we having, well, if you got access to my online program, you need to go on there and be listening to somebody like me every day. Like, it's only a certain amount of time that you're going to keep listening to somebody that all of a sudden, boom, the lights start coming on. But people ain't doing that. And y'all know everything I'm saying is true. Financially, are you checked in? Are you checked in financially? Because if you're not checked in financially because you don't have a financial target, if you don't have a financial target, I already know if you don't have a financial target that's at least $400,000 a year, and if you're the person that's saying, man, this dude off his rocker, what are you talking about? I need to have a financial goal of at least $400,000 a year. See, you can't make sense of it. You can't make sense of that. You struggle with accepting that because of your limited beliefs, because of your limited knowledge, because of your environment. You're surrounded by things that keep you making sense of all this here, but you can't make sense of that. That's environmental, financial, and then professionally. Because if you ain't doing what you know you purpose to do and you haven't figured out a way to monetize it, it's because you just don't have the right information. You don't have the right inspiration. You ain't around the right people. And I want to change that for you. I really do. I want to change that for you. But you got to stop letting money stop you. Like, it's so stupid how people just let money stop them from doing everything. It's ridiculous. I ain't got the money. That's why nobody won't buy nothing from you. You know, my mentor always says, you are your objections. So the same objections people are giving you are probably the same objections you give to people. So I really urge all of you that's watching me and listening to me, I knew I needed to have this conversation today because some of you you're stuck and you want out. You want out the rat race. You want freedom. Well, how much is your freedom worth? How much is your freedom worth? Do you really want freedom? But how much is it worth? Because I'm telling you, I've talked to people just in the last five years ago. I made a wealth decision. In 2017, I made a wealth decision. That same year, I uprooted my family, relocated to Buckhead, Atlanta, and I started getting rid of every liability I had. Everything that was holding me down, it looked good on paper, but it meant nothing in real life. I started getting rid of it. I reorganized my company. I reset my life, everything, my church, my ministry, everything that I was doing, I reset everything. And in 2018, 4 years ago, me and my wife, we made a decision, a commitment that, you know what? We finna get wealthy and we're gonna become millionaires. And my wife and I have not looked back ever since. And some of the same people me and my wife were talking to 4 years ago, telling them, here's what you need to do. We want to give you this opportunity. Some of these same people still on my email list. Some of these same people still get text messages. Some of these same people still watch me on social media. And some of these same people still struggling. They still miserable. They're still stuck where they are. You know why? Because they allowed what they thought to be a barrier to stop them from getting what they needed to climb that ladder. It's just simple as that. So I don't know how much your freedom is worth, but I'm gonna tell you something. My freedom is worth everything. That's why I put everything on the line to be free. And so for those of you that really need that coaching and that mentorship because you're serious about becoming financially free, then you need to reach out to me because you probably need a real coach. You probably need some professional person and some professional support system to help you. But you got to be, first of all, humble to accept that you need help. And you got to be willing and wanting to take that help and pay the price now so you can pay any price later. I'm not going to keep talking to you. All you need to do is text this word to me. Text millionaire to 404-478-7213. I want you to join my coaching program. I want to coach you. I want to take at least a year with you. Yes, you can be a part of this 3-week campaign, but this campaign is really just giving you some inspiration, some information, a push, some momentum to really help get you going to where you need to go. If you're already in our coaching program or any of our programs, you need to go to the course called The Income Ladder of Success. and you need to start watching that course. You need to start listening to it, because this upcoming Saturday, July 9th, we'll be sending you a link and a text out this Saturday at 2:00 p.m. I'm going to host a check-in. We're going to have a check-in, and we're going to talk more about some of these principles. We want to give you some inspiration and some motivation. We want to help give you some direction. And then we're going to give you the assignment for what we want to do next week. And we're going to do this every week leading up to our Millionaire Mastermind. Some of y'all that's just always floating around looking for free stuff. It's cool to get free stuff, but sometimes it's not until you pay. See, I can tell when somebody paid for what they got. I can tell when somebody paid for what they got. You know how I can tell? Because they value what they got. People who don't pay for something don't pay attention to it. Now that's a free bar for you. Did you catch what I just said? People who don't pay for something don't pay attention to it. So it is what it is. I love all of you. Appreciate all of you. I hope you got something today. I'm going to come back around tomorrow. It's going to be Friday, and we're going to talk about some more rules of the rich. I got some other rules of the rich I want to talk about, but I really needed to get this really established for all of you. Shout out to all of you that gave me a Google review. Please go to Google, give me a star, give me a review, subscribe to my YouTube page. I need all your support, because I'm starting to talk to a lot of people, and we're talking about strangers. And a lot of people are telling me, man, you're consistent. There are a lot of internet gurus out there who's saying stuff similar to you, but they ain't showing up like you, and they not consistent like you. And the world need to know it's some real solid people out here in this internet world, in these internet streets, that know what they're talking about and that have valuable content to help you succeed. So even if you're not the one that needs coaching, even if you're not the one that wants to welcome help to do better for you and your family, if there are people in your circle, on your job, that you do business with or life with, give them the information. Be kind enough to let somebody, don't be so selfish and not to let somebody else know, hey, you sound like you need a business coach. I know somebody who can help you with your business. I know somebody who can show you how to really get the bag and how to be great and successful, and they've done it. So they're not just telling you something that they don't know, okay? I really want you to do that. So text, thank you, Mr. J.K. Forbes. He said the right environment will push on you. You have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. You're so right. James also says, my challenge is environment. That is one of the reasons why I'm in the coaching program. He said, the mindset is not to get $3,500 return on the money I invested in the coaching program. I'm going to get a return at minimum 10x the investment in my world. See there? So this guy already saying, man, I'm not getting $3,500 back. I'm going to get at least $35,000 back. Point blank, period. Point blank, period. It's just as easy as he said. So I love and appreciate all of you. Thank you for joining the show today. If you have any questions about what our campaign is, if you need further information, if you need access to our course that we're using as our assignment this week, or if you're just ready to go all in and get coaching, get support, and be put on a program to help you move your business and your finances forward, just text the word millionaire behind me to the number 404-478-7213. Love all of you. Appreciate all of you. I'll see you tomorrow. Same place, same time, right here on The